Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the book Just One Day by Gayle Forman. Just One Day is about a girl named Allison who just graduated high school, and her parents sent her on this big group tour around Europe to get her some cultural experience. Allison describes herself as a typical good girl, as in she doesn't do a lot of things for herself. She just does things that other people expect her to do. She doesn't really go out of her comfort zone a whole lot, things like that. So one of the last few days they're on their tour, and Allison's on a train talking to her friend about how they didn't get a chance to go to Paris because there was a strike going on, and she really just wishes she could go there even just for a day. And this guy on the train is like, hey, why don't we go to Paris for just one day? And she decides, why not? And she goes just for one day. So she goes to Paris with this Dutch actor named Willem, who was actually one of the actors in a Shakespeare play they saw while they were in London. So they go to Paris, and it's just the perfect day, and Allison has this new kind of confidence that she's never had before, and she's bold and daring and does all these things she wouldn't normally do. And she and Willem have this, they have this connection, and as the day goes on, we kind of watch as this unravels, and we're like, is something gonna happen? Is something gonna happen? And everything is just going fantastic until the next morning when she wakes up and Willem is gone. So Allison goes back to America, and she's heartbroken, and she's so embarrassed because she thinks she's made the biggest mistake, and she was just really stupid, and she just got played by this guy who wasn't interested in her. So September comes, and she goes to college, and time goes on, and Allison starts to think that maybe going to Paris with Willem wasn't the worst decision she ever made. She actually really liked that courageous side of her that she had when she was in Paris, and she kind of wants that again. And she also wants closure with Willem, so she starts this year-long search to find Willem and get closure, and also try and figure out who she wants to be, and if she wants to keep doing things for other people, or if she wants to start doing things for herself and be more bold and go out of her comfort zone. To be perfectly honest, I loved everything about Just One Day. I've read some of Gayle Forman's other books, and they're very sad, so I was expecting this book to be very sad as well, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised when it wasn't. Just One Day definitely has its sad moments, but overall I think it's much more uplifting and hopeful. One of my favorite things about Just One Day was that while there is some romance, especially in the beginning with Willem, overall it's Allison's search for who she really is, and trying to find that part of her again that she was in Paris. There's lots of talk about Shakespeare, because in Shakespeare's plays a lot of the characters aren't exactly what they seem, they're hiding their true self or they're masking, and there's a lot of discussion about that and talk about, when we are in certain situations and we act a certain way, are those sides of us who we really are, or are they just masks that we put on and they don't have anything to do with our true personality? This book was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be going into it, and I really love that. Another thing I really liked about Just One Day was all the travel that goes on. I love travel books, and I love especially books in Europe and traveling all around Europe, and this book had all over Europe. And they went to London and Paris, and they went to some other places at the end. I don't want to spoil it. I also really liked all the characters she meets and all their stories and how they just added to Allison's journey to find her true self. One thing about this book though is it does kind of end on a bit of a cliffhanger. I wasn't too caught up on that. I thought it kind of ended at a natural spot, but I think some people would be quite irritated with where, it ends. There is a sequel that comes out in October, I believe, called Just One Year, and it's told from Willem's point of view, and I believe it is what happened after he and Allison get separated after their day in Paris. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm interested to see where that goes. Otherwise, I gave Just One Day 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really love this one. Very, very enjoyable, and just such an engrossing and thoughtful read. I highly, highly recommend this book to anybody, really. That is all I have for now, so until next time, I will see you guys later.